Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here today with two very special guests from Michoacan and El Estado de Mexico originally. One of them from Portland, Oregon, the other one from Atlanta, Georgia. We got our two paisanos mexicanos, Bricks and the Dois. Thanks for being here, guys.
What's up, bro? It's an honor. It's a pleasure. Thank you for having us.
Of course, I appreciate you guys taking the time to do this. And it's crazy that you guys are here in a city where we're in the middle of nowhere, basically in Texas, almost Mexico. But this is where I'm from, and I'm glad to have you guys here around. And I'm glad that you guys are here today so we can do this episode. And what I really want to start talking about right now is you guys recently started a duo. Is that correct?
Yeah.
You guys want to talk a little bit more on that? The name,
Get on the mic.
where it started?
Let's start off from how we actually met. The time we met. So this was during the pandemic. Everyone was doing live streams. I was sending in my music to get people to like Wookie, Fight Club, and I had sent one of my tracks to Fight Club, and that's how we interacted because he was also sending his music and like reviewing and shit. So
yeah, I was on the stream, and then you know how like they put the links and everything, so I started following him, and then I hit him up on IG, and it was like, oh shit, it's camarada, you know, like he actually humble enough to reply enough to like, I mean, at that time, not saying that I'm someone now, but todavía no había sacado música, so it was like,
you go more on the startup at that point.
Yeah,
type
exactly.
of thing. Okay.
That's how I felt too, because I was like still. And me dio las palabras que necesitaba during the moment when I was like feeling like, oh shit, my shit's not good enough. So he also helped motivate me, and it's vice versa.
So around that time, did you just start making music around that time?
No,
of COVID?
sino que I didn't take it serious enough until that year. Then I started
went all
producing. Yeah.
So at what age did you start
to release? Like I would take months to release just one track. To do the whole process, you know.
Take your time on it.
Yeah, and then now it's like I can do it in less than like maybe like 2 weeks. A track, fully.
Start to finish type of thing.
Yeah,
that's a time.
But
at what age did you start producing then? If at that time you were kind of just doing it as a hobby,
on and off too, bro. It was like fucking 20 when I started like touching with fucking GarageBand, you know, like
oh shit,
GarageBand.
I think I started off Mixcraft, and luego después de eso, I downloaded FL Studio. I cracked that shit, but Mixcraft, it was like a random ass fucking.
I think we've all gotten a cracked FL
Actually, I cracked Ableton, and since then I've been having this.
Oh, so you're Ableton gang.
Yeah.
I'm FL. My pops bought me FL like for Christmas. I think like 2016.
Me dijo su jefe que era para que lo grabara con su música también de él, because he's a singer. Or
yeah, my dad's in the band.
Your dad's in the music world.
My dad's in the band.
He has a grupo.
He's a cantante.
Para que usted lo sepa.
Tengo talento, mucho talento también.
He came out and Tengo Talento.
The link in the description.
Oh, that's
He made it to the LA show también, pero ya después ya no le llamaron para atrás.
Oh,
so he's on TV and shit, so it's fucking sick. It's like inspiration. Y sus palabras eran para mí, like that motivation. Like if you fucking want something, chase it. And he was there. It's like
telling them also too, he was explaining to them that he was only there to show his kid how you should fucking chase your dreams, you know.
That's what he said on the show. That's fire, bro.
It's everywhere.
And for people that don't know, in the Hispanic community, the Tengo Talento, Mucho Talento show is big for us. That's like our American Idol. That's like America's Got Talent. Yeah, there you go. That's like America's Got Talent, but like the Mexico version for us. That's fire, bro. So then music runs in the family on your end.
Yeah, soccer, that was my whole, I wanted to be a pro. Like, that was everything I was chasing. Went to college, I was playing for the Timbers Academy, like when I was 17 to like 18, 19. Luego fui al colegio. But like me, I'm not a citizen, so it was harder for me to start to like pay for school and just be in that environment of college soccer and passing classes and paying it off by myself. So ya me fui para la casa, I started working with my dad, and from there I just picked up music along the way.
So you didn't grow up working on music. That kind of came out after the soccer dream?
I was probably like 20 when I started fucking with FL Studio and like, really focusing on it.
So at 20, you started
20 years
working on
old.
that.
Yeah. So
Did you feel the dream initially was soccer?
yeah, definitely. That was my whole thing, and then so it didn't work out for me. So I felt that loss of, bro, you didn't make it happen. So now with music, it's like I already know how that feels like. So it's like I'm not gonna let that shit happen again.
That's what I was gonna ask. Do you feel like certain stuff that you develop in your soccer, pursuing the soccer dream, did you feel that you got anything that could help you at that moment applied into your music
Definitely
career?
that mentality, because I was good, so I was cocky. I was like, I don't need to practice. I was playing with the Timbers. I was top, starting, and I just got too cocky. Didn't practice, and that's how I translated that into music. I'm like, yeah, you're getting good, but don't get ahead of yourself.
Don't
I
get
think
comfortable with it.
Don't get ahead of
discipline,
yourself. Don't
the
get
discipline maybe was missing, you know.
Yeah, definitely discipline. Always just with music. Since I started, bro, I tried to at least work on it every day, but it was something that I really liked. So it became like 6 to 8 hours a night after work. That was like what I came home to and just relaxed and just laid out all my energy.
It's like you're doing like a double shift there. You're doing
Yeah.
an actual
Yeah.
It
job.
wasn't like work. I was just like
Yeah.
in my zone, just fucking working on music.
Pursue it.
Yeah, it didn't seem like anything at the time. It was just the way I passed my time, and I could just let the energy.
Loops there.
Yeah.
At that scene, that like taking it and is to that like consistency of yo, I'm gonna go work and then still do like a whole other grind in music. Do you feel that's giving you results to this accomplishments you've had today?
Yeah, definitely. Because I feel like going to work was a little break from the music. That was my little break. So once I got back home, so when I was working, I would just listen to my songs and just like
Nice.
reflect
Oh,
and
yeah.
reflect on my songs and what can I work on.
Work on?
Yeah. So at the end of the day, I was hungry to go work on that track and get that idea down. So that's just how I just stayed consistent, pretty much.
That's fire. And in your case, is music also an influence in your family?
No.
Or you're the first
Tampoco.
one?
The craziest shit is that Bricks and I, or like our lives are very similar, kind of in a way.
But they're also really totally
Yeah, exactly.
360.
Yeah. Because that Dois actually comes because first when I used to the dream was soccer again. So it was like yo siempre era el dos, no era defensa, era literal like wing. So I would carry two everywhere. El dos,
And we can
el
make a
dos.
whole soccer team here, bro.
El dos, siempre, you know. Entonces cuando ya I got injured and then that shit just gave up, you know, like
Se te
after
chingó la
18.
rodilla.
No.
A mí sí, güey.
Lenco, güey.
ACL, bro. I
Ooh.
saw
En
you
una semifinal, ya ves que es like Latino gigs, so it's like les vale verga, they all break your ankles, they don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So un cabrón se me barrió cuando iba a meter al segundo gol, ¿no? Y me chingó todo el elenco y ya no podía caminar como por 3 meses, güey, nadie me podía arreglar. Obviamente, if you go to si vas con los blancos te van a querer abrir y surgery, blah, blah.
Yeah.
con los
Pero no, beat that or something. Si das con los. Pero ya ves que siempre quieren surgery, ¿no? Y
Yeah.
pues uno sabe que con una sobada y tratamiento quiropráctico.
Una pasada de huevo y vámonos,
No,
todo como
vale.
nuevo, David.
No, pero fui con unos chinitos y me da quiropráctico.
happy endings.
Ya viste.
I feel
No,
good, but my
yo
ankle
me
still
iba a reír
hurts.
cuando te estaban entrevistando, pero dije, no, lo voy a dejar en serio, güey, para que se exprese. Pero no lo quería ser tan mamón, para que el interview fuera un poco más serio, pero.
So
Okay,
you go to the
Entonces ya te digo, entonces porque el tema del soccer siempre era el 2, entonces también se me acabó como que pasé en ese stage de la vida donde, maybe not soccer, pero me encanta la música, güey, me mama la electrónica, and it's like, ¿quién soy yo en realidad? Lo que me definía en ese momento cuando tenía 18 o 20 años, ¿me entiendes? Yo era era el 2 de soccer.
Perreo.
Entonces, it was like, voy a seguir haciendo el 2, pero ahora en otra
otra área
escena.
que te gusta.
Sí, es como
sí.
que sigo haciendo el 2, pero ahora 2 en portugués, porque incluso Ronaldinho era uno de mis
ídolos.
Sí,
de
entonces
todos.
te puedes imaginar, o sea, incluso, ¿te acuerdas que les hacían como custom cleats y una
Ajá.
versión de los tempos que
Ahí
le
sí,
sacaron?
el
Se
R10.
llamaban Dois, güey. Los amarillos, los alcaldillos, se
Ajá.
llamaban Dois,
Oh, yeah.
porque era la segunda versión de los primeros tempos que le hicieron. So, everything would just connect, and it's like, no mames, ¿me entiendes?
I would buy the $300 cleats all fucking time.
Que te iba a hacer mejor, Di. No, pero no, so el 2 sigue siendo el 2, pero en
Lo
otro
sigues
tipo.
cargando, pero
Sí,
en
a
vez de
huevo.
soccer ahora es.
Sí.
Ahora es
Pero
la música.
literal es como que súper cool el da, porque pues ya ves que yo soy de ATL y da es como ghetto D.
Ok.
D, dois, da, dois. I don't know.
No,
Algo así, algo
no
así.
sabía, pero,
Pero
es,
que,
es cosa
es que de Atlanta
Atlanta,
pues
entonces.
da, como así hablan, así como que bien, ya tú sabes bien who.
En G.
Ah, huevo. No,
Pero-
pues en realidad pues eso es lo que significa da dos, el 2, pero en portugués nada más que.
Entonces
como-
así es como se generó tu
Sí,
nombre.
así
Doy.
es, de ahí viene el nombre.
Pero lo de la música, se acabó el sueño. Te
Del
tronaron
del
el
fútbol.
tobillo.
Del-
¿A qué
ajá,
edad,
huevo.
a qué edad empieza lo de la música?
A los
Dices tú,
23, güey, a los 20. Bueno, no, incluso a los 22 por ahí.
¿sabes? Como el año pasado.
Ah, no,
No le crees al bigote.
Me lo rasuré.
Entonces, a los 23, lo de la música, ¿empiezas haciendo DJ primero?
Sí,
o
güey,
producción?
quinceañeras en corto, quinceañera. Ah, no, pero YouTube mixes, como, ¿te acuerdas que lo de Tribal Monterrey andaba bien pegado? Ahí
Ujú.
empecé mezclando tribal y electrónica, yo sin saber, nada más así de puro oído.
Sí,
Nada
porque
más
lo de tribal
play.
era bien como, no sé, como guaracha con,
Sí, sí, bien raro, bien.
con electrónico.
Sí, so then-
Que yo creo que inspiró bastante lo de tribal a lo que escuchamos hoy en el EDM latino.
siento que sí.
Que
Bastante.
el tribal tuvo mucha
Más de lo que la
influencia.
gente sabe,
Ya.
subconscientemente, yo pienso. ¿Me entiendes? Porque si escuchas la guaracha es súper similar.
Sí,
bro.
sí, sí. Muy, la fundación es muy parecida. Entonces, a los 23 empiezas a ser DJ.
No, como a los. Pues ya empezaba a tocar a los 18, pero sin saber BPM, sin saber
A lo güey.
géneros, ajá, así. Y ya después, como a los 23, ya empezaba como que ya tenía parties, ya tenía private gigs, all that shit. But that's how I got into DJing. En 2020 es cuando ya, actually 19, I got my first gig late December, got my first gig ever, Latin club, reggaeton and house music. So I was like, all right, fuck
Nice.
it. Dude, so nervous, bro, with my little tractor, bro. I had a fucking,
I had a new one too,
I had a
bro.
tractor S4, bro. I thought it was the craziest shit ever, right? But like obviously they run Serato, the clubs, right? That's the standard.
Mhm.
So I didn't know that. See, nobody. I didn't have no friends that would put me on and shit. Like I had nobody.
All this time you're living in ATO.
Yeah. I came in ATL when I was like 10 years old. So,
Okay, so your first gig was also in ATO.
Yeah.
And the scene at that time, was it something that you were involved with, like the EDM scene? Or was it like you were
because I've
fresh?
always been in the EDM world, raverhead, like big raverhead. Talking about heads, actually, that door is
Whoa,
a
whoa.
whole.
Where's this going?
Hold on.
It's a hole.
No, chill. All right. That door is actually an emoji kind of thing. Like Marshmallow has a helmet.
Yeah.
The real that
Used to have a helmet.
is a helmet. But I stopped promotionally or like marketing it because people get too confused with like my marcas. I got, you know how I had the crown?
Mm-hmm.
That's like, I guess that's the ego of the whole Dadois. But like I also promote mainly now the logo just so they know who Dadois is, and obviously the glasses and the hat. But the emoji, the hat, the head has the snapback and the glasses and the smile. So
Oh shit!
That's
Yeah.
already something.
So did you
all
have?
right, if I find it, we can put it on here. So,
yeah, we'll plug it
so
in.
you
there.
guys can know what
It'll be
the.
right here.
So they so they can see.
But it'll make sense. It'll make sense. So I used to carry that everywhere, all the raves I used to go. And
But it was a helmet.
Yeah, like a
Like
dead
a
mouse
dead mouse
helmet.
Damn.
But instead of the ears as dead mouse has, it would be just a snapback, you know, and I would just hype everybody.
Who made that helmet for you?
Me.
It's
What?
And it had LED on the glasses too.
That's crazy. How'd
Yeah,
you
it's
make
crazy.
it?
What do you mean?
Like what? Like what was the material?
Oh,
like what?
Never said
a big ass hamster ball, like the big hamster ball, and then wrapped with ¿cómo se llama? Tela amarilla, and then because it's like an emoji, you know, tela amarilla, and then LEDs from like car LEDs.
And it had LED shit too, man.
Yeah. I have the switch here, so I can turn it on and off whenever.
That's it.
Yeah, so that's the whole that does, but it's not coming out until
So
like
you're
una vez que me
saying-
pegue bien, you know.
You're saying Marshmallow copied you. That's what you're
No
saying?
cap, fuck you,
That's what I
Marshmallow.
got.
Did it first.
But then I feel like I had a big influence from Deadmau5, obviously, especially
Yeah.
being on the EDM Junkster. You know?
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
kind of what made you go that route.
Yeah, I think so. I think at the end of the day, that is the mainly. Yeah.
So the first gig you had in ATL, how did that go? Was it a flop? Was it lit?
Okay, no. So it was amazing. It was freaking crazy. So it was reggaeton. I feel like reggaeton would be like mi arma secreta, porque pues en realidad es lo que todo el mundo ama, you know.
Yeah.
And then house would
Especially
be
as Latin.
Yeah, and then y en Atlanta la escena es muy genérica, así muy básica, no es como de que todavía ni despegaba el Latin EDM, ¿entiendes? So me coming into the scene is just like, okay, I gotta follow the rest, I guess.
Yeah, what's
To a
trending type
point,
of thing.
yeah. And then so it was just reggaeton and house, but they booked me mainly for the reggaeton, not for the house, because they had other DJs for house. Y pues así se hizo y después, boom, en vergüenza cayó la pinche pandemia y como de que fuck.
It just blue balled you.
Y es como
Damn, that sucks, bro.
Sí, de verdad. Y yo bien inspirado que acabo de empezar. Y I did
Tomorrowland, here I come. Y nada, viste pendejo.
Yeah, te la ves. No, güey. Entonces empiezo a hacer YouTube mixes, güey.
Nice.
Boom, that shit blew up. Cumbia mix, dembow mix. That shit blew up.
Were you recording yourself, like mixing, or was it
Yes.
just like audio?
No. Recording myself, heavy energy, all that shit. Like blend, kind of.
Going DJ
Yeah,
Blend
yeah.
style. Nice.
And then we did a tribal video where me and my homie, and it was like payasadas. We put like two cameras, the phone and my main camera. Yeah, and we were just like killing it, like
You really are about the names.
blend bites for real. But it was tribal, right? And it blew up more than 200K. Like fuck, güey. Eso me hizo agarrar. Más seguido.
Yeah. Tomorrowland, I'm back. This time for sure. You started popping then on the YouTube.
No, yeah. So it went like thousands of subscribers, bro.
This is all during
COVID, yeah.
COVID era.
Yeah. And then when I came back, pues ya la gente, they knew who I was because everybody was in social media. So they kept up with the whole that Deutsch branding. So I was like, all right. So I started heavily branding the whole glasses and the snapback. Y así se acuerda mucho de la gente porque en realidad si no me vean como otro paisa, y ya se olvida de uno, you know? Like, no, for real. Like a lot of people, especially the promoters who meet a lot of people, they don't remember you. It's just like, hey, what's up?
So it helps you stand out.
So I feel like
from
if
the
you
rest.
keep
There's más guapo.
colors and certain stuff about you, people will distinguish you. Even earrings, anything will distinguish who you are. Even a beer, you know, who you are is your face marketing. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, no.
Gems right there.
Yeah, no, it makes sense because you want to. People like to see something they're familiar with, and if you're switching up the presentation every single time, they can't get familiar with you because you're looking different every single time. A big part about branding is that you have the same thing. Yeah, the consistency on it, and people like that. So that was your first gig. What was your first gig like in Portland? I'm assuming.
This was like an outdoor rave. It was like in the middle of nowhere in the forest, and it was my homie's event, and that was my first ever like duo. Estaba en un duo antes con un vato de ahí de Salem. So I had met him on Instagram.
Damn, you didn't break his duo cherry. Someone else did,
I
bro.
lied to you. Nah, but I met this guy on Instagram, and he was a DJ, and I was producing. He was like, "Yo, you want to build a duo? I'll be the DJ, and you can produce, and we'll start working together." I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it."
Nice.
So from there, he was like a 6-foot dude, and I'm over here 4 foot fucking 3.
He's just a little taller than you, bro.
A little. So it was really opposite, and the vibes I felt like were just off from the beginning, but we just really wanted to try something like that. in the music scene. So we decided to do it. We had our first show. It was in Oregon, like 3 hours from probably where I live. It's middle of nowhere forest. But like 200 people ended up coming, bro. We had a keg. We had fucking big ass speakers, subs. It was sick. But we had this little argument because we were going back and forth mixing. Y que apago el volumen hasta abajo for the next track. And when he was trying to mix it in, there was no volume. So he got annoyed because there was no communication there. Pero ya después ahí se enojó conmigo and like, just because of that little situation.
Yeah. No, it is.
So there was no chemistry.
No chemistry.
Yeah.
Do you guys feel there's chemistry with you guys?
Yeah.
You guys are like in love with
Soy
each
su
other
cuñado,
type
no
of thing?
mames.
It's like I told you, like, I never had a brother, and so I never had that person like that I could just always go to, and like we fuck with the same thing, so that's a fucking plus.
The genres are heavy on this. I feel like we have a similar taste. I feel like I was gonna say something.
Go for it.
No, se me olvidó.
Because that's what I was gonna ask. When it comes to having, being a part of a duo, I feel the chemistry is
Or the vision at least has to be the same.
The same
Direction,
vision, yeah, for sure.
Direction, the same
In
direction.
Oregon, bro, I felt like I was like the black sheep, especially in Salem. It's all like regional Mexican. It's all Bad Bunny. It's all that typical
Generic
mainstream
stuff.
shit.
Yeah.
So I was always the one in high school, even listening to hardstyle, listening to EDM in the mornings, and no one did that.
You having hard style for breakfast?
Yeah, bro. Like I would get ready. I would fucking on the way to school on the bus.
7 a.m.
My school candy earbuds. Fucking yeah, bro. It was all
7 in the morning.
all EDM, and then everyone else was
Whatever was trending at that time,
Yeah.
type of thing.
Chris Brown.
Yeah.
So it was
Soulja
really
Boy.
hard for me to like get my little group of friends that really enjoyed.
Paga.
So that's where he comes in. It's where we click, and it's like it's a different environment for me because I never had that growing up. So it's cool. It's fucking.
It helps. It helps. And right now that you're talking about the first show that you had there in Portland, so was it a good show, bad show? Was it a flop?
I mean, the show was good. The performance was probably sloppy just because it was our first and the chemistry wasn't there. But the show was good.
After that, did you do more duo shows, or did you just start going solo?
That shit was it. That shit was it. That's like
One and done.
Yeah, he got upset. He came with me, and then he ended up leaving with someone else. And just from there, the communication ended. And then he started his own moniker, and I saw that. I'm like, okay. And I just did mine. That's how I came out with Bricks. It was just spontaneous, like out of kind of spite, out of like.
Lo llaman breaks
kinda
porque se
backstab
pone
me,
un
so
break.
I'm just gonna do my own shit too. That's how it started.
So what was your first brick show
Para
like?
Dios
First brick show, I think I was playing like Wednesdays, Tuesday shows in Portland, like opening up. I still had my little Newmark controller, so I would bring it to shows, and then that's how I started. That's how I started getting used to the CDJs, just playing like Tuesday nights at 10 o'clock, and then drive an hour home, work at 5 in the morning. It was like I would get home at like 3 in the morning, and then have to wake up at 5 in the morning to do construction work.
Damn.
And I'd be todavía todo pedo and shit. I was like 21,
tipsy.
22. Like,
Yeah.
You know, I was barely.
Falling off the roof and shit.
Se va a caer, se va a
So I
se
definitely
cayó.
feel like I paid my dues with that. Like playing those shows that, sometimes there was no one there. Sometimes it was a fucking empty room, but you still enjoyed it because you were learning something. You felt like you were taking a step forward instead of staying.
Even if it maybe didn't look like that,
Yeah.
like I guess on
And
paper.
it's
type of
definitely
thing.
hard to think that you're not progressing because it's just how humans are. It's like, but you really are taking a step forward, and I'm proud of myself that I actually went for it.
Quiere
And
llorar.
I'm here now. Like I still haven't quit in almost 9 years. So it's a dope feeling to like, just know that you're really into it.
And you should, bro. You should feel proud about yourself because a lot of times that's where people give up.
Mm-hmm.
That little part right there where it's an empty room that you're
They don't
playing.
see, they don't see the positives. They don't see anything changing, so they get demotivated.
People chase that instant gratification, and that instant gratification, it doesn't come in everything. And, I feel like in music, it's one of those things that, it's just not there. It takes time to build. And
Say it takes like 10,000 hours para que seas un chico.
yeah.
I feel like I'm definitely coming close to the 10,000 hours. grinding.
And then there's been a lot of success throughout that time. What do you feel has been having in the timeline now? Okay, so it's 10 years laid out. What has been the moment for you that stuck out the most that made you feel like, hey, you know what? Like, this shit's working type of thing?
Oh, it was actually at a Global Bass show. Uh, I was closing out for Happy Colors. So that was probably the best, I would say the best set I've ever had in my life. Like the best moment where I realized like you're actually doing it, you know? Like, you're there and you manifested it. And you just stuck to it. Y now ahora fíjate, estás aquí. So that was, and then there's videos and shit. He wasn't having a good of a set. Hasta que like he was having problems with the CDJs and shit like that, so he wasn't feeling it. Y luego toqué yo después de él. I was so nervous, bro, just sitting in the back, just like all like crunched up, like fuck, I'm next. Like
Damn, it's Happy
Colors,
Colors.
Happy Colors, and like keep the energy. And, like,
Coño.
but it ended up being a fucking dope ass set. Like he really fucked with my set, and at the end of the night, he got on the mic. He's like, "Yo, this motherfucker, he had a better set than me." And it's all on video too, and he just like grabbed me right here. So that was like something that just like, what the fuck?
Kind of felt like some sort of like an, I guess, an approval stamp of like, hey,
like, yes,
the route that I'm taking
yeah, exactly.
is working, it's efficient.
That was probably one of the best moments that I've had as a producer.
That's lit, bro, because for artists like us that are very into the Moombahton scene, we know Happy Colors is an
No,
OG.
yeah, it's
like,
crazy.
like he's a legend, you know, in the Moombahton scene. For you, Dodois, what do you feel in the time that you've had as your DJ producing career was like that stamp of like, hey, this is working, like this could actually go somewhere?
Recently, bro, obviously with the whole Bebe Dame, like obviously I just been so consistent that I've now obviously que ya pasó el rush de que explotó esa rola. Now I'm just like, okay, it was time because I've been so consistent since day one, since I chose this route. But it was just me doing that voice all the time, just what I do all the time. Work on tracks, ideas, do the little content for it, TikTok, Instagram, boom. But like obviously, gracias a Dios, se pegó en TikTok y took off. And then
Shout out to TikTok, man.
I've always been so negative in myself that this was like ¿cómo se dice? No sé, como que lo que me dijo, ¿sabes qué? Ya no te mates. You're working, you're doing great. Maybe don't be so hard on yourself, you know? And this is what confirmed it. Like, maybe, like, esto me dio más que nada. Y ahora yo pienso que, bueno, no pienso, not in a cocky way, but I think my music is all right. It's good at this point. Obviously, there's always room to make it better, to sound better, but this is because I used to kill myself for this shit. Like, I would always think my shit was shit, always. I never felt good about my shit until that shit blew up. It was like como dices tú, un stamp,
like a approval stamp type of thing.
Yeah, así como de que, oh shit, ¿sabes qué? Maybe don't be so hard on yourself. You're doing it. You're doing great. Just keep going. But at the end of the day, like, suena mamón, like, que lo diga, pero la constancia beats the talent,
Oh, 100%,
like,
bro.
It's
Hard work
proven.
beats talent when
It's
talent
so
fails
proven.
to work hard, man.
With this, it just opened my mind to the scene so different.
So for those that don't know, what is the success of Bebe Dame? What happened? What did you do? And what did it come with? Because I know.
What do you mean?
I know what came with it. But for someone that doesn't know who's the Dois, doesn't know the Bebe Dame remix, doesn't know what it came
I'm about
with.
to cry. Cut. Let's go. Like I said, bro. Quiero comerte yo todos los días. So, I don't know, bro. This remix definitely opened a lot of doors for me. People that didn't know me or... Yeah, no, exactly. Come here, bro. Come here. Yo, shout out to my boy Travieso right here. Hey, come here. Travieso, come here, baby.
Sorry, I'm looking fat right now.
Yo, okay, so I don't know, but Bedame just opened up. I don't know. Nobody knew that voice.
Yeah.
Nobody knew that voice. Well, not saying because of my collaboration with the other artists, but just in general with the whole sound that came out of that song. especially Travieso. Like we talked on social media, but after this, it was just like, bro, like Kyle, tu whenever, just pull up to LA, and Travieso was the first homie that opened the doors to me in LA. So it was crazy to me that I respect. I love this guy because es el que me abrió las puertas a LA, ground type shit. You know, el día que yo quiera ir para LA, él va a estar ahí seguro. Y más, no sé, o sea, ahí es todo. Y obviamente creo que este tema me hizo como que, how do you say it? Para que los demás artistas me tomaran en serio como productor. You know what I mean? That's basically it.
Because it came with support from
Valentino Khan, Dioro. Who else? Oh, ¿cómo se llama el de New York? Tu compa, Wadi. Yeah.
So it came from Heavy. It got support from Heavy.
And
names.
even Soy Mamón, güey, el de México. Somebody texted me like a video or something. He was live. He was playing
it.
Yeah.
Because it got played on big stages.
It's been
right?
Even the Chicago girl from the Sorry Papi tour stuff, all that craziness. Yeah. She played it at a festival, Latino festival, reggaeton festival.
Because I saw Valentino Khan and Dior were dropping.
I was there at EDC. I recorded it.
Oh,
I
dude,
sent it to
this guy texted me the video when he was there, bro. Oh,
he started crying.
Fool. You started crying.
Everybody started crying. Valentino Khan started crying.
Dude, I got a homie. Shout out to Marihuano. Yo, I got a homie from Atlanta. He went to EDC. He said he was like walking through the
crowd.
Yeah, para los views. Dice que estaba caminando y que de repente escuchó la rola, and then he because he smokes, his name is Marihuana, right? His username, and he said, she's like, sacó la cartera y he let it out. He's like, for mi homie, I know that song. That's my boy. Yeah.
Nah, that's lit, bro.
So that's crazy.
How did you feel being in the crowd?
I was so happy for him, bro. I was like, well, I gotta get my phone out right now, and I know how it feels.
A ver, la cámara, ¿lloraste o no lloraste?
We'll put a little tear. We'll edit a little tear on
Nah, bro. A lot of people know. Obviously, shout out to the collaborator. Shout out to my boy Ray Burger.
Shout out Ray Burger.
Obviously, también because people know him. You know, obviously my name follows. So obviously that shit like
it helps get some more eyes on you.
So, no sé. Eso es lo que probó esa canción. Más que nada la certitud de ser artista en general que puede producir algo bueno, ¿me entiendes? Y ya dejé de cagarme a mí mismo como, oh yeah, you're like you and shit, blah blah. No, just
I feel
keep
you're
grinding.
always gonna get those moments, so you just gotta know how to handle them. But it's always that self-doubt that gets you.
Yeah.
So, for example, because I feel like a lot of creators, you know, it could be a producer, it could be a photographer, videographer, anybody in the creative world. I feel at some point, if you haven't gone through that already, you're going through it now. That whole self-talk being, you know, pretty hard on yourself of like, man, like, you know, I'm not good enough, man, you know, it's not working. For you guys that have dealt with that, and it seems like you guys have been able to overcome it at times or possibly all the time now, what do you guys feel if someone that's going through that right now, what do you guys feel would help them? What would you tell them? Like, hey, you know, this is what helped me. This is what worked for me. Not go through that negative self-talk all the time and beat myself up.
Just stay consistent because you'll get those little milestones where it helps your boost your little ego, you know.
Your brand also.
Yeah, it tells you you're on the right path. Just little milestones, boom, boom, getting on a little label, then jumping bigger label, like getting 1,000 plays.
Set goals, set mini goals.
Little goals will really help you push, and it'll help you feel like you're accomplishing something.
Like obviously, the main dream is hitting stages, you know, EDC stages, but obviously everything starts with the music, obviously. Besides, if if you have networks and like like si tienes conectes, pues es más fácil, you know, but how do you get those? Like you got to go out, meet people, reach out on social media, you know, all that. Or just, you know, focus on your music also as well. And I don't know.
It helps. Yeah, I feel like one thing that you mentioned right now, Briggs, that's very important is counting the small wins. I feel a lot of times as artists, we chase the big dub. We chase the, oh my god, like I'm not gonna feel happy until I play EDC.
Stop comparing
You know what I
yourself
mean?
to.
Yeah, but in reality, it's like, hey man, like I played a local show, or I played a show out of state that maybe was 200-300 people, but it was cool. I killed it.
Yeah.
My music got me there. That's a dub, you know.
Exactly.
Of course, it's not an EDC main stage
Exactly.
or Ultra or Tomorrowland, but you know, it's still a
It's a
good
step
win.
forward. It's a step forward.
Exactly.
So it's definitely those little wins that help you.
We're
Keep
not
pushing
ADC,
forward.
but we are here in Brownsville.
This is another
We out here.
milestone for us, because you know we feel like smaller artists too, and it's finally coming to fruition where we're just making it happen on our own will. We fucking had a 30-hour bus ride just to get here. Bullshit, hella stress.
But we made it happen,
I left
guys.
my bags
Your baggage.
at home, so I had to borrow clothes here. I mean, it was a mess, but at the end of the day, it's all worth it because it's what I want to do. Nothing is gonna stop me. No barriers is gonna stop me. Like, look at Get All Said.
Let's go.
Yeah, and I think that's the beauty of the journey, man. And I feel like, you know, a lot of times we got to go through that grind of, you know, eating shit, I guess you could say in quotations, to make sure that you see the good days, you see the dubs, and all of that happens. And the clear example is that you guys are willing to go through it. I mean, you guys went through a long bus ride to play a show over here in almost Mexico, and you guys are ready to kill that
I also
shit.
had so many sacrifices. You're gonna make so many sacrifices along the way. Relationships, fucking family. I had to leave my family at home just to go to ATL and do my own shit. So it's like I'm really homesick at sometimes, but it's part of the journey. You got to push through it.
And that led to Loco Boyz
Yeah.
Club being created.
Yeah.
Exactly.
See, and that I think that's the good part about it, man. That you guys are willing to do those sacrifices, and I'm sure because of those sacrifices that you guys have made and are apparently still making and will continue to make and are willing to do, it's going to lead to Bricks and the Doys and Loco Boyz Club being a success no matter what, because you guys are willing to go through a lot of the shit that a lot of these artists
Yeah.
are not willing to go through. So having that in mind, that you guys have accomplished all of this, you guys are willing to go through that sacrifice, that the vision is big for Bricks, for the Doys, for Loco Boyz Club. This upcoming year, 2024, what is something that you guys feel is like, hey, this is the target, and I feel like, you know, this is something that could be accomplished for your individual projects and your dual project?
We've been talking about just starting a tour, just going different cities, booking our own shit, fucking traveling, just going for it. Like we went for this trip here, but it's so, it seems so hard, so difficult, but it's really not out of reach. You know, it's possible.
It's doable.
So that's something that we've been talking about, just booking our own shit.
So Loco Boyz Club tour 2024.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll bring y'all back over here to the middle buttfuck nowhere. Right?
For real.
What about for your individual projects, the Doys? What do you feel is something that, you know, you already saw what you could do, you already saw what you're capable of, you got a taste of that, you know, what's next from here? What's something to strive for?
I think that those will be releasing just fully originals next year. Focus on Spotify, Apple Music, all that stuff. Just start mainly original shit so people can get to know the real that Boys, or like who I am really, instead of just punches. You know what I mean?
Type of stuff.
Yeah. So it's just gonna take a little bit more.
Digging.
Like a dipper sound in my sound. Basically, it's not all gonna be techno, but it's gonna be a de todo.
Full spectrum.
Yeah,
That's awesome. I'm excited to hear
but
that.
mainly original stuff. Already, I'm already cooking up a EP. It's called Azteca. Azteca
That's
something.
lit.
It has to have the Azteca shit in it.
That's lit.
But I have 3 songs in already, and that's gonna drop. I don't know when. My goal was enero, pero now I have Loco Boyz, so we're probably gonna go full 6 months Loco Boyz, see how far we can go, and if people actually fuck with the whole vision. I mean, I'm not gonna say we're gonna drop it, but we'll see, and we'll see the vision. And
Yeah, see
where-
what adjustments need to be made and
Yeah.
stuff. That's awesome, man. I'm very excited for you guys. I feel like
'Cause
you
I don't-
guys have
sorry,
good potential for it.
But I don't want us to stop working on each other's project. You feel me?
Of course.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, we can outgrow everything.
Yeah,
Either
no.
Loco Boyz or our brand.
Yeah, and both of it. I mean, if the individual projects and the dual project could both work, then why not?
Exactly.
What about for you, Bricks? What do you feel is like, the goal for 2024 for Bricks? What is that accomplishment that you want to
Definitely,
make?
I want to start building my Spotify and just all the other
Yeah, I
outlets.
think it's a year to build just mainly original.
Because I've just been focusing mainly on SoundCloud, and I need to reflect it on Spotify and everywhere else. That's my goal, pretty much.
That's the main goal. Well, look, man, I'm very excited for you guys. The Loco Boyz Club is an amazing project, and I'm looking
Loco
forward to
Boyz.
seeing the success that you guys have, not only as a duo, but also as individuals. And I'm really rooting for you guys. And I know that 2024 is going to be an amazing year for you guys. So before we leave, plug your socials so we could get started on the right foot for next year, so that way we could contribute a bit for those that want to follow you guys.
All right, it's gonna be right here at BRX Musica on pretty much everywhere.
Here we go, baby.
Yeah.
The Dois.
It's Dadois Dos, basically everywhere. But on YouTube, it's Dadois Música now.
Pornhub?
There you
Ah,
go. Or
perro.
OnlyFans.
Dadois Dos everywhere, but except on YouTube. I mean, I'm pretty sure I still pull up.
They'll find
Dadois
it,
Dos.
especially if it went crazy. If you went crazy on YouTube. Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you guys so much for being a part of another episode of Geezuz on Air. That was it for episode 2. Peace.